is Thursday, October 3rd, and we are looking at some beautiful scenery as we're driving to work this morning. And I'm a little bit later today than normal, but you know, sometimes that happens. So here we go. We're on our way and the leaves are turning. So what happens up here in New Hampshire is that we will see little smidgens of color on the trees, and then, you know, it's a busy time of year. It's the beginning of the school year. It's time to kind of get ready for the winter. Sometimes we have rain and bad weather to deal with this time of year. It's cold in the morning. It can be really warm in the afternoon and then cold again. Really cold. Yeah, cold and warm in the afternoon. Like yesterday, it was actually hot. I didn't really check the temperature, but it was pretty warm yesterday afternoon. And then as it gets to be 3, 4, 5 o'clock, it starts to cool down again. So it's an interesting time of year. It's beautiful, and right now is getting close to peak, I would say. And once it turns peak colors, then the leaves start falling, and then it looks a little gloomy because you lose the trees' color, you lose the beauty of the trees a little bit, and you just see sticks. But of course, in New Hampshire, we have lots of pine trees, which will stay green all the time, but it will eventually turn brown before it turns white again. So lots of colors. I would say right now it's getting close to peak colors where I live. So going right down this road here is really pretty, as it looks like you're going into a tunnel, and it's just so beautiful. I just love driving to work. I really like it if I'm a little bit earlier than I am right now, because I love to just see the sun rising, and we've had a lot of clouds. We had a good bit of clouds yesterday, and we have a good bit of clouds today, but it's still beautiful, and that's pretty normal. It's been kind of cloudy. I don't know. We've had a lot of clouds. We haven't had a ton of rain in this area. Last Thursday it was the Deerfield Fair, and it rained Thursday night pretty substantially. Like usually if it rains around here, you just get some rain, and it might even rain all day, but it just kind of is a light rain. But Thursday night it was like very strong rain. We ended up going to the fair thinking that it wouldn't be too bad, but it was pretty bad. So we ended up staying inside a building. I was able to visit with a friend of mine, which was really awesome. And so we couldn't have planned it any better for that, because I haven't seen this friend in a long time. And her name's Mary Winslow, which I have interviewed her on my channel. She's a homeschool mom, lots of adopted children, and she has some special needs children as well. And so it was really good to catch up with her, which was cool because she lives north of me and we just don't get together much. I wanted to get together with her in the summer. It just didn't work out. So, but the colors are very vibrant on the trees right now. I hope you can tell with this video how beautiful it is. And my ride into work is a highway, but it's not majorly crowded, as you can tell. And there are some larger areas, city type areas in New Hampshire. I live in southern New Hampshire. We have Manchester, Nashua, we have Salem, New Hampshire. Those are bigger cities that they don't have to pay sales tax. If you go into Massachusetts, you'll be paying sales tax. So Salem is right on the border, and people come from Massachusetts just to shop. But New Hampshire is also a beautiful state where people come to go on vacation. We have lots of lakes and we have beautiful mountains. And it is a beautiful state. I've always loved it. I have gone out of state for college. I also went out of state. I lived in Wisconsin area for a few years because my father moved out there when I was first married. So we moved out there to live near him. And it was really nice. We lived in north of Milwaukee, about an hour north of Milwaukee. And we lived there for a couple of years, and then we moved down to the Milwaukee area. And we loved the people there. We loved the church that we went to. And I really enjoyed living there, and I'm really glad that we had that experience. But it was like every time I drove home, I loved the beauty. I didn't really love the traffic. And when we were home on vacation, it seemed like we were always in the middle of traffic. So I was always like, I don't even want to come back to New Hampshire. I don't want to have to deal with the traffic. But it's funny, when you live here, you kind of learn to work around the traffic. I just don't go out when I know it's high traffic times. I'm able to stay on this highway in the morning, and then I don't really go into the larger cities on the weekends. So I don't really have to go through the traffic much, so it doesn't seem too bad once you live here. But when I was away in the Milwaukee area, I had a lot of good experiences, learned a lot, met new people. I could have lived there forever if that would have been the Lord's will for my life. But there are things I didn't really like about it, but there was a lot of good things I did love about it. And I met a lot of really great friends and people that I've even kept touch with over the years, even though I was only there for a short time. So it was a really great place, great experience. And so I love New Hampshire. Every time I would go away and come back, it's still, I don't know, it does feel like home, but it does feel like it's a very beautiful place. So I just wanted to give a short video of my morning commute today. I hope you can see the vibrant colors on the trees. Like I said, I'm a little bit later than I was in the other video, so you can see there's a little more traffic at this time of day. So it's about 7:40. So 7:40 a.m. Other days I was probably a little half hour earlier, so there was less traffic. So this road would take you actually into Boston. So we are not far from Boston, which is a place that a lot of people love to go for the history, for lots of great sights to see. It is a beautiful city, but it's also very overpopulated, and it's not very well planned out. So when you go, parking is terrible. So if our family decides we're going to go to Boston, say the Boston Aquarium, we park right there in the Boston, well, not the aquarium, I haven't been there yet. The Boston Museum of Science, they have a parking garage you can park in. If you go to a hospital in Boston, you're going to pay $35 or more just to park, even if it's in a garage. So going into Boston is extremely expensive. If you do want to go in there, you want to plan ahead. Lots of things you can plan ahead about. that's an idea. Also, well, nowadays you have Ubers and, you know, lots of different ways that people are transporting people around. Last time I went to the airport, I went to visit my friend and I flew out of Boston. Boston tickets are a little cheaper than flying out of Manchester. Manchester's right near me, but they don't have direct flights to most places, and you're going to pay a little extra to fly out of Manchester. But by the time you would pay to get a ride to Boston and all that, sometimes Manchester is just as practical. Just pay the few extra dollars to fly out of Manchester. But I flew out of Boston and I was able to take a bus from a place about 20 minutes from my house. So I had my son drop me off for the bus, and it was $20 into Boston and $20 out. And it was pretty good. It was better than the stress of driving in Boston. Boston is not an easy city to drive into. They have tunnels, they have road. You have to know ahead of time what road you're going to go on, what turn you're going to make. The tunnels have turns in them, so it's pretty stressful. So I really enjoyed taking the bus. And the last time I came back, we were in the bus coming back, and we were in the tunnel, and there was an ambulance. It's like, okay, we have, you know, traffic bumper to bumper. How do you make room for an ambulance in a tunnel? So at that point, I was really glad that I was in the tunnel, but I couldn't wait. I mean, in the bus, because I didn't want to drive in that situation. But I was really glad when I got out of the tunnel. It kind of makes me nervous. I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'm on my way to school, and I'm really thankful for a great morning. And got my lunch packed. I have my own lunch. Bring it homemade, and I don't buy anything. Save my money. I was out last night at a school board meeting until almost 11 o'clock, so I'm pretty tired, but I don't know. I guess I'm getting used to it. Our meeting starts at 6, and I was there till almost 11. That is crazy. Almost 5 hours of school board. Very crazy. And, yeah, so maybe I'll make a video about how I got to be a school board member. We'll see if that might be coming up. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Please post below, make a comment, let me know you watched, and if you have a channel, let me know you watched so I can return the favor and watch a video of yours. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.